Can you tell us, Adam, first I'll ask you, do you agree with this? And how do you do this?
Well, thank you for that very lovely introduction. I'm very delighted to be here at the book fair. So the question is about writing details and about small aspects of individual sentences and parts of writing, to which I could give a very large answer because it's a very significant part of the process of writing and how reality is grasped in fiction and how it is conjured in language. But I'll try and be brief about it. In a way, I think the detail is really a crucial element in modern fiction and has been thought of as such for quite a long time. Certainly, you can see it in the writings of Tolstoy and Chekhov and Flaubert and later. It's a very important element in how a writer will seize reality. So, closer. Sorry, my apologies. What seeing detail does, amongst other things, is allows the writer to feel properly embodied in a character, because it allows you access to the character's particular, very specific sensations and perceptions. And the value of this is manifold. It certainly helps the reader also experience their immersion in this character's world, but it also allows a kind of freedom of response and reaction that is more realistic than writing the usual kind of cliches of the scene. The detail is a great way to interrupt and overturn one's cliched expectations of what a particular experience looks like or feels like. As I say, I could go on at length. I'll stop there.
Please, Adam, go on, because this is something very interesting, the way you have looked at possibly every blade of grass as John Clare is walking out of the madhouse, looking at every kind of species of birds, you're looking at, it creates that whole atmosphere in which you place these characters. So do go on.
Well, I guess I could talk specifically about John Clare's case. It's particularly appropriate for him because he was someone who saw the world in incredibly sharp, lucid detail.
Before that, Adam, will you just tell the audience here about The Quickening Maze?
Yeah, okay, so The Quickening Maze is a novel that, as you've heard, mixes real people with fictional people and is set near where I grew up, in Epping Forest, a large forest on the northeast edge of London.
Detail. This is working, right? Yeah. Well, detail for me is, I suppose one could debate the importance of detail and how much detail one should have and why one should have it. For me, certainly, when I think more clearly about it, detail is at the center of a debate. And it's at the center of a debate that probably goes back or is expressed, first of all, forcefully towards the beginning of the 20th century with Virginia Woolf. And Virginia Woolf expresses the terms of the debate, which are very important to me, in an essay called Mr. Bennet and Mrs. Brown. And she talks about two approaches to what we're calling detail. In Mr. Bennet and Mrs. Brown, she's talking about Arnold Bennett, a very well-known contemporary of Woolf, and in some ways, at that time, far more read, far more popular writer. And somebody who doesn't represent the breakdown and the liberations in narrative that modernism will bring, but the more kind of solid conventional bases of 19th century storytelling. And Woolf's essay is actually a meditation, but first of all, it's a riposte to something Bennett had said. Maybe criticizing people like Woolf for being too vague and not writing clearly enough about their characters. Now, the Mrs. Brown in the title of that essay is a woman. There is probably a working class woman she encounters in a railway compartment as she's going out of